Buckley's, a venue of class that provides all your entertainment and function needs.
And welcome back. And are we lucky that we don't get recorded what we say during the ad breaks? It's absolutely unbelievable. Actually, we were always reckon it might make for a funnier show, actually. We are very funny now, of course. That's goes more than said. Now, we have some big games on this afternoon, another 5 huge games, and one of them is out at Foot Rod Flats. The Anarchy Roos, who definitely improved last week. They didn't do too bad against, it was Bannockburn, I think. They played pretty good footy.
Thompson.
Correct, Thompson. So the Indian sheet's not up to date this week, so it's okay. The sheet that's named after me, the Anarchy Roos and Winchelsea. Now, Dale, do you reckon Anarchy can notch a win out of this one?
Yeah, they will, because they're at home. I think that's the only reason. As I said, their efforts last week against Thompson were pretty good, and the bloke that led from the front was Steve Rickett, and he basically stood up and said that we need to play a good game of football, and I think he led, as I said, all reports is he led from the front and got the Anarchy boys back on track. As I said, they'd be bitterly disappointed by the week before. But going there, I just think Winchelsea again will be thereabouts, but mightn't just finish off the game like they did in the weekend. I'm tipping that their forward structure will be just a little bit too good for the Winchelsea defence. Now you got me doing the idiot sheet, and I kept to refer to it as well. But yeah, look, I think Anarchy at home will be too good.
Too good Anarchy at home, Jake.
It'll be a good game. Obviously, Anarchy had put in a fair few poor performances since they had their extenuating circumstances, which saw the coach change hands. And last week, I suppose, would have come out of the blue for a lot of people. A lot of people would have thought, they're playing Thompson, the reigning premiers, and you'd think that they'd get spanked. But they put up a good fight, and I suppose they'll get confidence from that, even though they got done. But Winchelsea obviously got their second win of the year last week. I was against Geelong West, who are by no means world beaters, but as I said, it'd be a good game, and it's sitting on a knife's edge for me, but I'm going to go with Winchelsea.
Unbelievable. Jake, I'll try you, Jason. I'll just add Jake.
Winch.
Good on you, mate. Do you want to elaborate a bit, or you quite happy?
Oh, well, everybody else is talking, so no, I think Winchelsea have been okay thereabouts in most games, so I think they might beat Anarchy.
At a short quarter park in Inverleigh, they've got the Werribee Central's Footy Club going out there. I'm only joking to all you Inverleigh people to don't write in or ring us up. I'm only kidding. I've only been sugar for a week. No, the Inverleigh Hawks and Dale, they played pretty well against North Geelong last week. And, of course, we're talking about the big fella at full forward. Werribee Centrals will be struggling to get him moved.
You're probably right there again, Dick. He's a big man mountain, and I think they're just going to try and nurse him through the rest of the year because, as I said, I don't think I said before that his body's not 100%, but he seems to be able to get the ball in his hand, and if he's left one out in the goal square, the bloke that's playing on, it's more than likely going to be Simmons, I think, would probably start on him. They might put Shembry back on him. They're going to need someone with a bit of brute strength to knock him around a bit so the ball hits the ground. Once the ball's on the ground, then they give themselves a chance, and that's what North Geelong did in the weekend. They actually got a third man up and did a pretty good job on him. But look, all their play for Inverleigh, and if you went back and watched it, was through their ruckman in Hybens. He was tremendous. Jace Kelly wasn't listed in the best players on the paper, but from what I saw, where I sat and saw on the weekend, he was by far the best player on the ground, and Trotter wasn't too far behind him. So they've got plenty of experience that runs through the midfield, and if those three blokes can have some sort of impact to get the ball out of the centre and get it to the big fella at full forward, we're going to be under pressure. As I said, I don't care what Leach, Burke and all these blokes are going to do. That'll be where the game's lost, but they won't want to start like they did against North Geelong, because they were a bit flat. But I'm going to tip the home side. I think they're going all right, and I think they've got a little sniff of playing finals football. They won't let it slip.
It's an understatement, Jake, that Werribee Centrals have to win this game today.
Yeah, and they'll be hard pressed to do so. As Dale said, they're probably the best side in the competition at the moment as far as form goes. Inverleigh, they've won 7 on the trot, and I think the reason for that is they might not have that even spread of players, but the players that are important, the midfield, and they've obviously got Lewis up forward, are doing their job week in, week out. When you've got the likes of Hickleton and Trotter and young David Peel, who's a Falcons listed player, he's doing pretty well at the moment. From all reports, he's been in the best about 6 times this year, and if they can just keep getting that ball into Big Lewis, who's kicked 60 goals now, you'd have to say that they'll get the job done over Werribee, who've been up and down like a yo-yo for most of the year.
Jace?
Yeah, they've been very unflattering twice I've seen Werribee this year, at home and also against Bellpost Hill, and I think they might be in trouble against Inverleigh.
Out of the Kevin O'Leary Oval, East Geelong Eagles, they take on the Belmont. What are you laughing there?
That's good.
The Belmont Lions. At East Geelong, of course, they're in fantastic form at the moment, and Belmont Lions have dropped off considerably. I'm going to start with you, Jace, and confuse the producer, because I know that you've had a bit of a soft spot for East Geelong. I think you played for East Geelong once, didn't you?
Oh, many years ago.
So did Neville, but that was just after the Boer War. But how do you reckon East Geelong and Belmont Lions, Jace? You think it'll be one-sided?
I think it's going to be very one-sided. The Mark Lomas Shield is definitely going back to East Geelong this afternoon. I think they're going to be much too strong for the Lions.
Glad you mentioned the Mark Lomas Shield too, Jace, and Jake, who hasn't been around local footy very much, but Mark Lomas was a great footballer that played for both of these clubs, and of course his lovely wife Sharon, I think she usually goes to the game and either presents the shield or whatever happens there, but it's a great tribute to a great bloke, and one thing in local footy we haven't forgotten what a great fella that Mark Lomas was. Jake, East Geelong, Mark Scrobelak. Is it Mark Scrobelak?
Actually, Adam.
It might be Adam. Mark might have been his brother, who knows. Adam Scrobelak, he is a man mountain as well, isn't he?
He is, and I suppose he'll be the one that they'll be looking to kick the ball to today, well, depending on where he plays, I suppose. But Belmont, they're going to go two ways after last week. They had that horror loss to Belpost Hill by 120 points, and that'll either really stung them. Belmont seem to have been that team this year that they've pulled those results out against the quality sides when no one's expecting it, and this week might be one of those weeks. But as I said, it's either going to go one of two ways. They're going to come out firing, or their confidence is just going to be absolutely shot, and they'll get hammered again. And I'm going to say East Geelong by 6 goals.
Dale.
Nah, wider margin. I reckon it'll be a one-way street. I just don't think there's enough confidence in the Belmont Lions group at the moment. East Geelong easily.
Yeah, okay. Out of the Devil's Playground, Corio, well, they wanted a big season this year, and they started off pretty ordinary, and of course, looks like their finals campaign is all but gone. Speaking of which, definitely gone for the North Geelong Magpies. Dale, I think North Geelong can actually win this one. And I'll take no silly noise from Jace either. I think it's pretty disgusting.
Probably, look, on what I saw on the weekend, they probably can. De Blasio's got to have a big impact at centre forward. I don't still think he's a tall enough player to play through that position, but he does. They've got no other options there. I think Van Creeken's important to them. I think Brady Watts is important to them, and Hutchison through the middle. And as I said, I still continue to say it. Swinnerton might win a lot of ball through the middle of the ground, but his around the ground work is sensational now. Until they can find another bloke in their second side that can just actually get out there and jump and give him a bit of support and let him push forward or go back for 5 minutes. And Mr. Reliable back there, Matheson, I don't know who he'll take this week, whether it be whether he gets Rivet, if he's going to play up forward. But look, they've got their task ahead of them, even though I don't think Ricky will play. Billy Nichols is back in the side. He's going to get better with football. Look, only because it's Corio, I think Corio will win.
Jake, Ricky O'Toole not being in the side, or we don't think he'll be in the side.
Yeah,
that makes it's a big impact to Corio, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I suppose Corio have had a pretty rotten run with injuries this year. They've always just seemed to be that one or two players short each week. They've had Billy Nichols out for long stints, and I suppose you could say the injuries are a valid excuse for Corio, but I suppose their lack of consistency throughout the years probably hurt them the most. They've looked the goods one week, and I suppose they do that most years from what I've gathered so far, is that they look the goods one week and just can't produce against sides that you'd think they should win this week, but if they lose, they'll join North Geelong in the scrap heap for season 2009 for sure.
One thing we always say about Corio and North Geelong, Jace, it's a big clash for the near neighbours, and it's always a bit of feeling in this game. We were reminiscing on Saturday night, actually, about the great grand finals in the 90s between Corio and North Geelong, but this obviously doesn't have much impact on the season this year. But you reckon North Geelong got a show?
No.
Yeah, God,
You've lived on past glories for about 15 years, you have.
Oh, we had about 6 premierships in a row on Saturday night by that last night, I can tell you.
No, I think Corio will win at home.
Oh, okay then. And Geelong West, Bannockburn, Dale, pretty easy this one.
Yeah, you would think so. And if Bannockburn let this one go, then they don't deserve to be sitting where they are. But I think they've got a few more players to come back, hopefully this week. But I think pretty easy, Dick.
Jake, ditto.
Yeah, Bannockburn. You'd think Geelong West obviously not a very good side, and Bannockburn they've struggled over the last few weeks. They got the job done every now and then, but I think they'll try and make a statement this week, and I'm expecting a 100+ point victory to Bannockburn.
Jason, please tell me you're not going to come out with something ridiculous with this game.
Ditto.
That's unbelievable.
The weather may influence.
Ridiculous, absolutely unbelievable. It's hard to believe, folks. Another half an hour has gone very quickly. Don't forget the replay of last year's grand final. Belpost Hill on Thompson. If you can't get out there this afternoon, tune in to 94.7 The Pulse and hear the great call. I think they're all back in the box this week.
Yep.
Well, I'm not going in there. There wouldn't be much room for anything else at all. So, Dale, you enjoy yourself this afternoon?
As I always do, Dick.
Jake, you enjoy yourself this afternoon? You are going to be in town.
I will be. I'll be here for the rest of the season now, so looking forward to the long stretch.
And Jace, you enjoy yourself out at Belpost Hill?
I will.
You My best to Papa Lewis out there and all the
We
boys.
will. We
Will
will.
be fantastic and a great afternoon too. No doubt it'll be had by all. Well, stay tuned for the local footy show. Oh, I do love a Saturday Arvo. Yes, Daryl Pittman and the boys. I'll be on very, very shortly. You have a great weekend, folks. Enjoy your footy this afternoon. We'll see you all again next Saturday morning. Bye for now.
Buckley's, a venue of class that provides all your entertainment and function needs.